Hi, I'm Roxie Bennett and welcome to Geelong Connected Communities. I'm an ambassador for Geelong Connected Communities and one of my roles is to meet some of the people behind the scenes and also the people that we support at Geelong Connected Communities. And right now we're going to meet one of them. Laura Harvey is from Tiny Dots and we're going to find out a little bit more about them and about the funding and how it's helped you. Hi Laura, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Now Laura, tell us about Tiny Dots. I hadn't heard of your organisation before. I feel a bit bad about.
No, we're very new.
Yes, all right, well tell us all about it then.
Yeah. So we're a grassroots charity in Geelong and we started when we realised that it was taking a long time for children to get help. So the most effective time for therapy is pretty much as young as you can get them.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's just taking months to years for families to get help for their children with delays and disabilities.
Okay, so this is children who may have some kind of delay in their learning ability or some sort of disability that might be connected to that?
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that there's been a lot of media around the fact that it can take like not just months but years.
Yes.
So Tiny Dots was formed as a way of getting assistance to particular cohorts of kids. So kids who may find it difficult otherwise.
Yes, so our main focus is to support the vulnerable children, but we support anyone who can't get into a service already. So there are some services that exist that are absolutely wonderful, and they take specific cohorts, but we catch the rest. So, for example, Vision Australia will be supporting children with visual challenges. So only those children are eligible for that service.
Yeah, of course.
But we're catching the other children, and at the moment in Geelong, there's no one specifically for autism or for Down syndrome or chromosomal disorders and those sort of things, intellectual disabilities, fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. So we're catching those children.
Okay, so this is about finding those kids, assessing them, seeing what their needs are and getting them therapy and assistance as soon as possible.
Exactly. So we're like a bridge to getting long-term support. So we're not going to be there with the families forever, but we want to be the start of that journey to help them go in the right direction as quickly as possible.
So with the money from Geelong Connected Communities that you received, what did you do with that?
So that helped us purchase a range of equipment. So some of them are assessment tools to help us with screening, to identify those children and make sure we're catching the right children with developmental delays. And some things are the therapy tools, so to help children learn how to communicate or learn how to move. So we use it for a range of different things. So all those equipment purchases has allowed us to put the money into the children as opposed to having to buy the equipment ourselves.
So isn't that absolutely fantastic? I know that you do quite a bit of work in the areas of Geelong that are probably a bit more needing than others, and work with some kids who really might fall through the gaps otherwise. So that must be incredibly rewarding, that work.
It is absolutely rewarding, and usually I feel for Helen, who's in our office admin, because she's our first point of contact for the families, and she will often have parents telling her really challenging stories. They've called 15 different places and no one will help them. They don't know how to get in, it's all too expensive. So to be able to provide this support to these families who are trying to get help has been absolutely wonderful. We love what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And you started Tiny Dots.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a wonderful, absolutely wonderful thing. You are a clinician and you work in the field, but you saw this need.
Yes. So I'm a speech pathologist and I've been in this field for over 10 years. And I am a big believer in helping children when it's going to be most effective. And we know the younger they are, the bigger the change we can make. And those children that could have had significant issues, if we get them young enough, they're not as significant as they grow older.
Yeah.
So some people don't realise that the younger the child is, and the earlier we start therapy, we can change their brain. And so what could have been a challenge isn't as big a challenge down the track.
So it's that neuroplasticity that they talk about.
Exactly.
Which is fantastic. Such a great organisation, Tiny Dots. Thank you so much, Laura, for telling us about the impact that Geelong Connected Communities has made for your organisation, but in turn for those kids. So this is one of the great stories that we're able to share at Geelong Connected Communities. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you again soon.